Jeff. It's Monday morning.
It is.
As you can tell, there's no Rob this week. He's got the week off, so it's just us two in the office. Just done sprint planning with Icy on Discord. What are you doing this week?
Yeah, for me, it's a bit of a quieter week since Voodoo Fantasy came out last week. This week I'm back on Gems and Minerals DLC for Coloring Pixels. Almost done now. Probably would have been done by now, but Voodoo took a lot of work. So I should be done in 1 or 2 days. And after that I'll be doing some Athena again. I think I'm going to finish off the boat. But yeah, and you get those Coloring Pixels images done for you so you can do the store page.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So I said the store page he's doing, you get that sent off and you get the assets and stuff ready, so you get some screenshots and whatnot. As well as that, the store page stuff for both Hexceed and Hulu. We're looking to get the DLC store pages ready and sent off as well. Just because they do have the titles sort of preset, we can kind of make a start on getting those ready. And as well as that with Hexceed, we've got Icy started on making levels for Hexceed for the next DLC, because we are doing a year 3. We need to be announcing that this week as well as getting the store pages and everything ready for that, ready to go as well.
Hey everyone, pretty productive day so far. I managed to get a few more images done. Some that I've tweaked up and some new ones. So this is what I started off this morning with. This is the last mineral that will be in the pack, and this is Larimar. It reminded me of like a water pool, which I really liked, and I thought it would be a nice addition to the pack. But for the rest of this morning and a bit of this afternoon, I've been tweaking up this jellyfish image. I really didn't like it, it wasn't sitting right with me. So I ended up redesigning the clouds and the sky and tweaking around some of the jellyfish just so it's a bit more centered. It's a very, very full image, but I quite like it. It's very different from the rest of them. If I change my mind in the future, I may just tone some things down, but like I said, it's very full and very cartoony, so I quite like it. And for the rest of the afternoon, I've been working on this fossil image. This is the 19th image in the pack, so one more to go after this. And it's taking a little bit longer than I thought. I may have made it a bit bigger than intended. We definitely needed a bigger image in the pack. All the images aren't small, but I really like to have at least one big one in there. So this one's a nice addition. So the plan for this one is that I'm going to have a bonfire down here shining upon the skeleton in the wall, the fossil. And there's going to be a little character sitting down here. And there's going to be some gems encrusted into the cave alongside the T-Rex here.
So yeah, it's getting towards the end of Monday. Been a bit of an interesting day today. So normally on Monday I would do the YouTube video, but Jack had some footage at home that he hasn't uploaded, so I was going to wait till tomorrow. So instead of that, I'm getting Icy set up with Hexceed. So obviously finished the Rule Up DLC last week. The next task for Icy and myself is to make the next Hexceed DLC, because we are doing year 3. That'll be getting announced next week. But yeah, I'm just quickly throwing together a world layout here. But the main point of that is so I could set up the actual templates over here. It's been a bit of a slower task than normal doing that, because if you look here when I duplicate, normally this will just increase the number by 1, so we'll go 215, 216, but as you can see it's done 215 space 1, which isn't what we want, or at least it's not ideal for quickly making levels. I had to rename them all manually, which is a bit tedious, but it's done now. And the idea here is I've also set up the Trello board to match this, so that's not the right one, this one here. So essentially one of us can just pick up saying I'm doing levels 31 to 40, I can work on those 10 levels and then put them over to QA when they're done. And then it's just a case of, in terms of pushing stuff to the shared branch where we upload and download the game files, there'll be less chance of clashing, so there's no chance of us doing the same levels. So Icy doing level 1 to 10, I know now not to touch levels 1 to 10, and there won't be any issues in terms of upload sort of clashes or overriding each other's work. So yeah, that should be set up and ready to go. Other than that, the one of the tasks that's been sort of on the back burner I didn't get around to doing last week, it's going through all the reviews. So after the first week of the game coming out, I went through all the negative reviews and made sure I replied to all of those. But it's important as well to go through all the positive reviews, because some of the positive reviews also give a bit of feedback of things that could be improved, things that they are giving feedback on. So I've been going through and replying to any that I feel necessary to reply to. And yeah, it's been quite a lot to go through. I've gotten up to this one here where someone asked for a chicken level, and yeah, it's a bit of a funny little comment. As a joke, I've said to the guys in the Discord that we should make a chicken level just for this person, but I'm going to leave it here for now because that's a memorable sort of reply that I can know to pick up again tomorrow. See the scoreboard on the side, there's a lot more to go through, but yeah, should be alright carrying on with this later in the week, and just make sure I reply to as many of these as I think necessary and make sure that we have the game as good as possible. Well, I'll make sure I'll blur this one out.
Okay, so it's been a pretty productive day for me so far. I came in a little later today, so I haven't got as far as I'd like to, but I definitely got the biggest image in the pack done. which is a great relief. So this is the biggest image so far. It's called Fossil. Well, name in progress, I suppose, but I really like this image. I love the colours and the lighting that I managed to achieve in this one. But it definitely took a long time, a lot longer than I thought. The image was a lot bigger than I thought I made it. I think this ended up being around 350 by 250. And it wasn't supposed to be that big, but I think the perspective kind of enlarged it a bit. But overall, I'm quite happy with it. And for the last image in this pack, I'm going to do a mine shaft, looking a little creepy right now, but I'm going to jazz it up with some nice colours. But yeah, we're getting there. It's quite a small one because, like I said, this one ended up being a lot bigger than I originally thought. Hey everyone, so the Gems and Minerals pack is now done. I'm sure Lee can add some confetti effects if I ask nicely. But it's all done now, there's nothing much more to do. I may make a few tweaks to this. This image took quite a while, not too long, not in terms of length, but in terms of figuring things out. It would have taken not that very long to do an image of this size, but when it comes to perspective, it's quite important to get the depth and colours right, which is why I spent a bit of extra time just trying to nail down the colours. Like, I'm not entirely sure about this purple down here, but I may make some tweaks in the future. But for the rest of the day, I'll be working on the boat. As you can see, I'm just UV mapping it now, and this is the hull, so it's taking a while. This is the largest part of the boat, so I definitely need to spend some time and make sure there's no UV stretching here. This is kind of what we want here. On the back you can see, and a little bit inside here. Tiny bit of stretching on the inside, that's not too bad, but definitely down here needs some work. So I'm going to be spending the day fixing that, and I may also put in the Gems and Minerals levels into Unity to tweak them up so they can be ready for QA for Lee. Okay, so the progression on the boat is coming along very nicely. There's a few things that we want to touch up, so I'm currently working on the hull now. I'm currently just texturing the engine. The engine's a little difficult, not in terms of how I'm texturing it, but trying to get colours that look different from the grey, but not too different that it wouldn't look like a mechanical part. So I'm currently trying to mess with some things on there, but after that I think I'm actually going to work on the details on the hull, so everything that's encompassed here. As you can see, the hull's pretty much there. We're a little worried that this green's a bit too out of place. I think the green does go on nicely, but against the gold, I'm not entirely sure. So the plan is that I'm going to texture the rest of the boat, and we're going to see how it looks all together. This isn't supposed to be green down here, this little shop area. This is just a broken UV that's just been added to the texture. It's an easy fix. But yeah, I'm going to continue, and hopefully before I go home, I should at least have this engine done and some of the details on this boat, as I would really like to get it finished tomorrow.
So yeah, it's about 6 o'clock now. Been a very productive day for myself. So start of the day was getting the Colour Pixels store page sent off. This is the Gems and Minerals DLC. Yeah, created the icons and the assets for the store page and got that sent off. We will need to redo the screenshots when Rob gets back, so we can get the actual in-game screenshots as opposed to in editor. But yeah, that should be good for now. And as well as that, I've been doing a bit of hexceed work. So I've been having a bit of catch up with Icy because he's been working on the levels, just making sure he's getting comfortable with the process of making the levels. And as you can see here, I've gone ahead and made all the assets as well. This is the simplified Chinese version of the store page assets, including the actual year 3 pass as well. But if you enter the English folder here, we have all the assets as well for the in all of the languages that we need. So yeah, they're good to go as well. I'll be uploading those tomorrow because it is getting late now. But yeah, this should save me a lot of time in the future when it comes to setting up the store pages for the individual DLC. So yeah, it's Friday. I didn't record anything yesterday because I only worked for a few hours. Had a house viewing, so I was leaving early. But yeah, yesterday I got the Aqua Pack and the Year 3 Pass for hexceed sent off to Steam. You can see here the screenshot's just the same one. We do need to retake the screenshots when we have the levels made. But yeah, the Year 3 Pass is up with all the details what you get in the Year 3 of hexceed. The date is currently set to 17th of February, which is the date that the actual DLC comes out. I'm not sure if I'll change this. I'll check with Rob next week. But yeah, exactly the same as the previous packs. You'll be able to pre-purchase all the DLC with the Year Pass, or you can buy them all separately on each individual store page. So this took a little bit of time because obviously there was the translating for all the descriptions into the right languages. But yeah, that's now been approved. This is actually the live store pages, so that's good. As well as that, again, don't think I can show you too much of this page, but as you can see here, got a lot of translations to do for the Wooloop DLC achievement, not DLC, the Wooloop achievements. I've been putting this off for a while, and yeah, I thought I'd get around to doing it before it gets too big of a job. And yeah, it's taking a long time, a lot longer than I expected. It took almost an hour just to do German, and we've got a lot more languages to go through. So we'll see how far I get today. I was hoping to get more done today, but we'll see how far I get with this before I move on to the rest of the tasks.
Hey everyone, sorry for the lack of upload yesterday. I was working from home and I kind of got lost in the texturing. I kind of lost track of where it was throughout the day. But yeah, the boat is coming along really nicely. So it's almost done now in terms of solid colour. As you can see, I've started adding detail in here, adding some grunge to the bottom, adding some shading down here, and overall the boat is coming together. I think it looks a bit too clean. Something's just not sitting right with me. As you can still see, I need to do the window and a little bit of like an entrance here, sort of. And this window is still on textured too, which I'll do that. I'm just waiting to see what colour I'll make through the window first to match up. But yeah, it is coming along nicely, but I think it needs some more grunge on it, some more damage. Not damage, but the look of that it's textured. I think it looks a bit too clean, and I'm not completely sold on the green. I do like the colours, the red and green do match, but red, green and gold, they're quite dominant, so I'm not entirely sure yet. I may take the saturation down. But I'm going to have to leave that for the day because I'm going to start to work on gems and minerals, so please kindly put them all in to Unity for me here, and they're ready to go to get tweaked. So I'm going to go through them and try to take down these colour counts. Lee, it's Friday.
It is, yeah.
I was going to say Bob, but he's gone.
Yeah, that's been a pretty straightforward, quiet week. Obviously, no Rob in this one. He's had the week off. So hopefully, he's nice and rested and recuperated for next week. But yeah, it's just been a bit of everything in terms of getting the games done. But all in all, it's getting ready for the Gems and Minerals DLC. You're still working on getting that touched up right now, but that'll be coming out as of release of this video. So if you're playing Color Pixels, make sure you check out the Gems and Minerals DLC. That'll be coming out later today. But yeah, other than that, just a bit of work on hexceed, getting prepped for that, which will be coming out in the future weeks as well. So if you're a hexceed player, you've got something to look forward to as well, which is great. But yeah, that's it. Pretty quick week. Thanks to everyone in the Discord as well. It's been quite a lot of chatter in there, more than normal, which is very good to see, very good to get the interaction. I think Jack's daily art is helping get a lot of people talking, which is fantastic. But yeah, thanks a lot to the Discord people, and thanks to everyone on Patreon as well who helps us out week to week, which is really good.